everyone, a mile-by-mile preview of the 2018 LA Marathon. I'm Martise Moore, the Run Faster coach, and today we're running mile 13. So we're almost at the halfway point, and I have the pleasure of running with Jack today.
Hi everyone.
Jack is running for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, so he's going to tell us all about that because this is his first marathon. So we want to figure out why he's doing this. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so mile 13, it starts out pretty flat. We're on Sunset Boulevard right now, so you can see Hollywood Hills and those nice homes. So that's something to look forward to. Okay, so Jack, this is your first marathon. Yeah. Why are you doing this?
Well, actually, the reason why I was walking at Runyon Canyon with a walking group, and I got to the bottom, and then there was this sign-up table for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and they said, do a marathon, literally like that. And I just finished a walk, I was feeling great. I said, okay.
Nice.
And that's how it started.
You know what, that's a good tip for all the other charities out there. Go to places where people are already working out, and you could probably convince them to run a marathon.
I think another one of my group also signed up that same day, so.
Nice!
Yeah, it's a good technique. But I was supposed to do one back in 2016 in Chicago. I was living out there at the time, but then we moved to Los Angeles and I didn't end up running it. So I'm glad this year is the year of doing things I didn't get to do.
Nice! Very good, and you're doing it for a good cause.
Exactly, which makes it even better.
So since this is your first one, are you training with the team?
Yes, they have this whole program called Team in Training. We started back in November, and it's really helped me build up the stamina to get to where I need to be for the actual race day. I remember on the first practice, all we had to do was run 3 miles. We ran 1.5 miles out and back. And we just did it at our own pace.
Right.
And it nearly killed me. But then this last Saturday, we did 18, so it's really...
And he's alive to tell the story, guys.
Exactly, and it wasn't so terrible.
So does that mean that you would say that anybody could do this if they really put their mind to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all you need, the dedication and like a good team and knowledge base behind it.
Yeah, so definitely the team, I'm sure, helps you with a lot with all the logistics of running a marathon, but also the support and accountability.
Absolutely.
So what is it about the team that makes you want to keep going and keep training? Because, you know, it's so easy for people like, yeah, this is a great cause. I'm super stoked. I'm going to do this because I'm not doing it for myself. But it's so easy to be like, you know, I gotta raise funds. I'll focus on that.
Exactly.
And, you know, and not necessarily get all your training in. So can you tell us how being with Team in Training is really keeping you motivated to train?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the actual training aspect of it, we have a once-a-week group run on a Saturday, and that's a long distance.
Okay.
And then during the week, Monday through Thursday, we have to run ourselves. Depending on the mileage at the end of the week, it's either kind of 30 minutes or 45 minutes, something like that.
And how do you make sure you do that?
That one is where you have to really depend on your own willpower.
Right.
But I've seen the results on the longer miles.
Right.
On the weeks that I actually put in the time and dedication, get my rest, drink enough water, actually do those runs, then the longer distances are much easier. I remember when I did 14 miles.
Right.
It was terrible. I didn't get enough sleep that week. I wasn't drinking enough water. I did, I think, 3 of my runs kind of at a regular pace, and it nearly killed me. And then for 16, I was like making sure that I slept well, ate well.
Right.
I also went harder on my runs when I was by myself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so then by the time I got to the 16, it was like a step back.
Good. Yeah, see, because that's what's great about team training. And for those of you who are training alone, I would definitely encourage you to have once a week team training, because it definitely keeps you honest. It makes you do your other runs so that way you don't suffer on the long runs with the group as much anyway. So.
And the great thing about team in training is they have their own water stops and snacks every few miles to make sure you're getting the right nutrition.
Yeah, they have a lot of volunteers that help out. That's cool.
And it's actually worked out really well because in 2015, my cousin's son got diagnosed with leukemia back in England. And so he's been going through treatment the past few years. He's now just turned 9. And he's got his final chemo date this year in November.
Oh, final? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So he's getting towards the end of all the treatment.
Okay, so does that mean he'll be cured, or?
Yeah, the goal is to be in remission.
Remission, sure. Right, okay.
And so it's really great that I get to raise funds
to
research towards that as well.
Right. So guys, we're starting to go uphill now. It's subtle, but in a marathon, it's not so subtle. Okay? So, again, just focus on getting to those Hollywood hills where the stars live on this mile. Okay, so right now, it's a bit warm out here.
That's right.
Jack, have you been training in the heat at all?
Not necessarily intentionally, but yeah. Some of the Saturday runs have been warm like this. And we even have been starting earlier, like in November we were starting at 8. And more recently as the miles increase, we've been starting at 7. So
what are the differences that you notice in running in the heat than when it's not so hot?
You definitely rely on your water bottle a lot more. And I, as you can see, I'm very pale skinned. I need to be smothered in sun cream and just try and stay cool. But
do you wear a hat?
Yeah, I always wear this hat, which I actually won during my team in training. We went for a meal at this restaurant here in the valley. Make sure to check it out. It's a vegan Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh wow.
And after our first 10 miles as a group, we all went there and ate there, and they had like a little raffle, and I won this hat.
Nice.
So now it's my running cap.
Very good. Because you know, running in the heat makes running harder. Your heart works harder. So that's why it's really important to train in all conditions. You know, cold, comfortable, and the heat, because there have definitely been some years where the marathon was in the heat. And you don't want to be shocked by that.
All my teammates talk about the 2 infamous years. One where it was about 90 degrees and they ran out of water on the course.
Yeah.
And the one when they moved it earlier to Valentine's Day and there was torrential rain.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to be prepared for anything. That's why don't just train when it's cool out or comfortable, because odds are that's not going to be the situation at the race. And if it is, lucky you. You'll do better than what you planned on. But again, the heat is one of those X factors that it makes a big difference in your ability to run at the pace you have planned to run. So definitely want to hit that point hard, and especially this is your first marathon and you may not be running very fast or walking a lot. You should definitely have water and extra snacks on hand. Don't depend on what's on the course, because you don't want to get to later parts in the race and they're like, we ran out. You know, you don't want that to happen to you. So make sure that you carry your own so that doesn't happen to you.
It's interesting that you talked about the walking, because the second meetup that we ever did, they made it very clear that the majority of people do run walks. And so that's how we've been training. And that's been much more manageable for me.
Oh yeah.
So my pace group is like a 10-minute mile, 5 minutes running, 1 minute walking, and now we've increased to 6 minutes running, 1 minute walking.
Very nice.
And it's really helped split up the journey, so it's not just, oh my goodness, I've got 26 miles left to run.
Right. It also helps, you know, with the recovery. What about hills? How do you guys approach those?
The thing that I've been told is to put your head down and pump the arms.
Okay.
Just don't look up. We try not to change speeds unless it's supposed to be on a walk. And actually, training 3 weeks ago, I think, was at Griffith Park. It was our 16 miles. And we did 2 loops and there's one big hill, so we had to go up it twice.
Right.
And the first time, our walk fell like at the bottom and just at the top, so that was perfect.
Uh-huh.
The second time it fell in the middle, and then I found it a lot harder to get going.
Oh yeah, your momentum was gone.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
So,
I have a couple of tips for you in that case.
all right.
So, if you end up walking on the hill, which is totally sometimes a good idea, there's no shame in walking, you still want to walk with purpose.
Yeah.
So you want to swing your arms hard like you're running, even though you're walking. Okay, that helps keep your momentum. So that way when you're ready to run again, you already have some. Also, you want to push off on the ball of the foot. So we're going uphill right now, guys. And also, I would keep your head nice and forward at all times when you run, because it's easier to breathe that way. When you do like this,
Yeah.
it cuts off air, and you need all the air you can get on this race. Okay, so for sure, hopefully you guys are training on hills, because it's a real thing in this race.
Sure.
This whole, I feel like half this mile has been uphill. So
And just wait till you get to Century City.
yeah, and it's really warm right now. So do you have to raise a certain amount of money for a charity?
Yes, there's like a minimum amount that I have to raise, but I decided to go larger because I know someone that's
Sure.
going through it. So I've set my goal at 2,600, which
Nice.
is 100 per mile.
Very nice. So we are for sure gonna put Jack's link up with this video so we can support him and the people that he knows with this awful disease, but are hopefully gonna be in remission soon. So we wanna help support helping people get through this and live longer and healthier lives. So if any of you have any questions about mile 13, the other aspect of the race, please go to GreenRunnerLA.com. I will tell you that this point of the race is where a lot of other charity people will just be getting started. Okay, so some people will be ending here, some people will be starting here. So don't worry about that. Run your race. Okay? So until next time, keep running, everybody. We'll see you on mile 14.
Bye-bye.